base. I got one.
Hey, tight end's right.
22 jet bomber.
4 down.
Hey, Delta. My 52. Say go.
Throwing on first down. Herring. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Off-play action. Herring. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second-guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
18.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Trubisky to throw again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Set, ready? 70, Indy.
Go, go, go.
Ready?
On first down, it's Parks. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
To throw on second down, Herring. They complete it to Hill. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Hey, Sam off. Go, go.
Looking to throw on second down. Herring. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Hey, Mike 51. Hey, Alpha.
To throw on third down, Herring gets this one to Hill. And he had to get this down to the 15. He won't make it. He's a yard or 2 short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He finds Beckham complete. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. The 20, 10, And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky drops it to Jones in the flat. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
But not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action with Trubisky. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on second change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw again. Herring. Wide open receiver complete. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Trubisky now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
receiver. Here we go. I got it.
Trubisky will throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
that he's into the clear. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. 78 yards as the Bears push further out in front. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Ready?
Back to throw. Herring. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Trubisky to throw. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead.
Come off the ball. Bravo.
To throw on second down. Herring. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On 1st and 10, Herring looking deep downfield. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it. Find
someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A quick throw complete out to Beckham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Come on, D. Check 31. Alert. Safety creep.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Trubisky to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines,
there he goes left side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
45, Vikings 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!"
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 38, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Now Trubisky on first down. Being chased out left. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky forced out to his left. And that's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. Fourth down now. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Here we go. It's Trubisky on fourth down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Parks. Pass it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. 46 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more.
The score, Bears 59, Vikings 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herring. And going deep for Hill. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Here's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here comes Cohen. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 42-yard line.
Ready up.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They're going deep for Hill. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Justin Reed. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defense.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
That game's gone final now in Philly.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Reed. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Jones. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.